You know what, even though we have Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 4 the Animation, Persona 4 Arena, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, Persona 4 Dancing All Night, Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth featuring the cast of Persona 4, Persona Cross Detective Naoto, and the Persona 4 Visual Live stage show. I don't think we've quite seen enough of this story and characters yet. Persona 4 The Golden Animation is a slice-of-life supernatural mystery series based on Persona 4 Golden, a game for the PS Vita by Atlus. This series acts as both a remake and a sequel to Persona 4 The Animation by AIC. I'll explain that in a bit. This series, however, was created by A1 Pictures, a studio that I've covered 3 times already in this past month. They are known for their work on the animation segments of the original Persona 4 game, Persona Trinity Soul, and will be producing Persona 3 the movie number 2, A Midsummer Night's Dream. They are definitely familiar with the franchise by now. But without further ado, I present the Vital 3 review of Persona 4 The Golden Animation. Let's start with a poem. There once was a game called Persona 4. It was a game that many now adore, so we tried to pitch it to share it around, this brilliant deep game that we found. But many didn't have the time to spare. 70 hours was too much and they just wouldn't care. The anime we had was only 24 long, which for this game was absolutely just wrong. So a new series was announced and I bought an orange. Finally we had something to... Orange. Fuck, I knew I shouldn't have mentioned that. Anyways, the point was that Persona 4 The Golden Animation was then announced to have only 12 episodes, being even shorter than Persona 4 The Animation. What people were hoping for, myself included, was a remake, hopefully either 36 or 48 episodes long, in order to fully cover the game's story, as well as all the new content added in the remake. Instead, we got something very, very different. Persona 4 The Golden Animation acts as a companion series to Persona 4 The Animation. Instead of covering the story, they have instead decided to only cover all of the scenes exclusive to the game Persona 4 Golden. This means that despite there being a murder plot at hand, this is completely skipped over, and instead we get shown an episode featuring everyone going shopping instead. It's not what anyone wanted, I think that's a fair evaluation. Although there will be some more interesting episodes later on, from the first 3, we've got these little slice episodes without any context. Now I mentioned that this series is both a remake and a sequel to Persona 4 The Animation, a sentence that seems to contradict itself. But if you look at the description of the series, something seems slightly odd. In the last sentence it says, and I quote, "What days are waiting for you and his friends this time?" It seems pretty normal until you realise that this time is in quotation marks, clearly drawing attention to it. Why is that? Well, whilst it might be a new round for the viewers, it's also a new round for Yu Narukami, the protagonist. The popular theory is that at the end of Persona 4 The Animation, Yu selected to start again, using the New Game Plus feature. This is based on the first episode. The features of New Game Plus include the ability to carry over social stats, as well as the ability to carry over your Persona Compendium. So with this theory in mind, it's no surprise when Yu strides in with absolute confidence and knowledge of what's going on, and then proceeds to use a massively overpowered Izanagi to absolutely destroy everything in this cool sequence. He even uses some endgame skills like Megadolan and Maziodyne. This is a really great touch that not many would have expected here. The next 2 episodes just cover some of the light-hearted scenes from Persona 4 Golden. Episode 2 was a bit lackluster, with you trying to balance a picking up contest with Kanji and Yosuke and going shopping with the girls. It was funny at parts, but it was the episode that was meant to establish the slice side of this show, and it didn't really do that. Episode 3, the obligatory beach episode, however, was a lot better and featured one of my favourite scenes in Persona 4 Golden altogether. It's not the direction that I wanted it to be taken, but I'm still enjoying what it's doing with it. This series is about Marie. A1 has made that very clear by placing her into literally every scene, even though she wasn't meant to be there in the first place. Being a resident of the Velvet Room, a mysterious place that aids Persona users as they fulfill a specific contract, she has no memories of her past. Being what can only be described as tsundere, she is an avid writer of poetry, something I totally get, and has almost zero knowledge of the world outside. With the help of Yuna Akami and his friends, she aims to remember her past, which seems to be the driving plot throughout the show. Unlike Persona 4 Golden, Mari does not appear in these scenes, and only appears outside of social link opportunities later on, confirming that they really want to accentuate this plot point. Apart from Marie, we are pretty much just reliving Persona 4 in terms of our cast of characters. Emulating the games, each character retains their personality developed in the original series. There is no character development for any other characters here except for maybe Adachi later along the line, so you really need to have watched Persona 4 the animation or played the game to get any context for this. Yuna Akami seems to have developed into the ultimate badass, with high social stats supporting the New Game Plus theory, since we saw Narakami achieving maximum social stats in the eye catches in the original series. I've mentioned it before and I'll mention it again. A1 is working on 4 different series this season. However, whilst I concluded that Aldnoah.Zero and Sword Art Online 2 didn't show any significant drops in quality, I'm afraid Persona 4 the Golden animation is where we're being hit with some real issues. After episode 1, fans were excited to see some brilliant art and animation and hoped to see something truly fantastic. But in the subsequent episodes, that excitement dropped. There's a lot of still frames, lack of detail, dodgy proportions, and general bad animation quality. However, the fact that episode 1 was so goddamn visually entertaining shows us that they can do this. They can make something really exciting and fun to watch visually, and if that level of quality comes back, it will probably be in the later episodes. In terms of the audio, this was my first time hearing the Japanese voice actors for Persona 4. I don't like them, but I don't like them for the sole reason that I played and watched Persona 4, the anime adaptation, and Arena, all with English dubs. It's the way most people in the West have seen Persona, so many people may want to hold out for the English dub. But it's the music that I strike a real issue with. Persona 4 the animation used a combination of music tracks from Persona 4 and a whole new original set of tracks. With this variety available, it really enhanced some of the action and comedy scenes. But here in Persona 4 the Golden animation, the only music used is tracks from Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden, with nothing new apart from the opening and ending. Don't get me wrong, those are fantastic, with Shohoko Hirata returning as vocalist, but I really was looking for more than this. Like a Lotus Juice, let's get that rapping back. This is a show for Persona fans through and through. There really isn't much else to it outside of that. If you have not watched Persona 4 the animation, or played Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden, do not watch this yet. Go away, watch the story as it was meant to be seen, and then come back for this show. It's something that I really don't think should have existed in the first place, and while I'm glad that we get to see Marie's storyline animated, there really isn't enough to it to be able to recommend it to anyone who didn't really enjoy Persona 4. If you're on the fence about it, go watch something else. Sabagebu, go watch that. But my verdict for Persona 4 the Golden animation is keep watching with satisfaction. This is not a recommendation, this is a statement. I am still vaguely looking forward to seeing the rest of the series. Obviously, I already know what's going to happen, but I am satisfied with what they've delivered thus far, and am prepared to follow the series until it finishes. This is coming from someone who's now made 3 videos on Persona 4 and even got a custom printed t-shirt of the Persona 5 teaser trailer. Thank you for watching the Canipa Effect. This ends the Vital 3 reviews for summer 2014. For new viewers, what I'll do now is create a cheesy awards show video outlining my favourite shows to watch based on purely the first 3 episodes, called the Vital 3 Roundup Awards Show. If you're a fan of Persona games, congratulations, you're now my new best friend. You'll also be excited to hear that on my second channel, The Canipa Show, I have a full review of Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden. I also might be working on 2 reviews of both Persona 3 and Persona 3 the movie Spring of Birth. So stay tuned, the ritual isn't over yet.